I think he could go through. Look at the one thing that he has talked about continuously from the time that I've known him, long before, I was working for Bellator when I was a referee. He talked about the fight that he always wanted was Jose Aldo. And it was, I want to prove to everybody, not here. He goes, I don't care about here. I want to prove to everyone in Brazil. Yeah. And I want the fight to be in Brazil. And I want to fight. And this is when, Jose Aldo was with the UFC. And as a featherweight, and when it started, is I want to fight Jose Aldo in Brazil to prove to everyone who's the best Brazilian featherweight in the world. And I was like, sounds like I would love to see it, but it could happen now.
Yeah, I can. They released some of his contract, right?
Man, I would love.
He's not tied in at all.
They're both the same age, basically.
Yeah. The other thing too is that Jose getting away from his kicks. They're both basically boxers that kick very little, and they both have power. They both got wrestling. Yeah. They don't use it really. I mean,
both have black belts in jiu-jitsu. Not that they're guys are going to go into a world mundials and win it. They're not. But they both can grapple well, and they both, understand what's going on. But they both rely on their hands, and they both rely on power. A little bit different in their application, but I would love to see that fight.
I just look at Patricio. He's done everything in Bellator. He's done it all. And then I'd like to see him challenge himself, at the 135 pound. I just get concerned that the weight cut will get to him. I mean, he said, he's like, look, I'm not able to hold my muscle as much as I used to now that I'm getting older. He's 34, 35, I think, something like that. So he's like, he said that in the fighter meetings. He's like, I'm just getting older. Like, my muscle doesn't stay on as much or as often. So I've got to, spend more time lifting. I got to spend more time eating more food. So we saw this. We used to talk all the time about Jose Aldo going to 30 or to 55.
55.
Because he was struggling to make 45.
That's right.
And then towards the end of his career, where did he go? 35.
When he was with the WEC right at the end before they absorbed them into the UFC, he was having a hard time making 45. In fact, he had a hell of a weight cut problem facing Mark Hominick in that fight at 129. They were thinking he might not make it, and he was having difficulty. So there was a time when at 145 he was dying to make 145. Then made 135 easy. Nutritionist, bring him in. Mm-hmm. But a great way, Pitbull does what he does. The guy, there's nothing you can say about him other than that he's a winner.
Yep.
He's a winner. He finds a way to win. He fights smart all the time now. When he was young in his career, I can point out moments, look, this was dumb. This is stupid fighting right here. Okay? And he had that because he had a chip on his shoulder. He was always coming forward trying to kill people. And then he figured it out. He was a good fighter then. He's a great fighter now.
We call that little man syndrome. He's not a big guy at all.
No,
He's
he
tiny,
is not.
Man.
He is not. But I'll tell you what, for a guy with no reach, 65.5-inch reach? Yeah. Come on, Josh. I mean, that's nothing. He controls the distance and range beautifully. Yeah. Unbelievable that a guy with his reach does the things that he does. But that's what a good fighter does.
When you have that type of power, people are afraid to. They're afraid to enter that range.
Yeah, it's true.
Go to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Wayne and they'll give you additional spending cash with your first initial deposit.